How is that top-down? Wally asked. Well, our office manager personally supervises each job offer so that it doesn't go to waste. I only help unemployed people to fill in questionnaires. Usually, I have to write everything for them myself because people's writing is different. Do you know how many people, even with a high school diploma, cannot write one or two words flawlessly? You are an exception. One can see immediately you are a high educated person. It's good and bad for you, she summed up mysteriously. How is that? Why bad? Wally's eyes widened. You know, frankly speaking, there are no offers in our employment office for brains like you. You wrote here completed faculty, law, sociology, philosophy, psychology, journalism, political science. There is no need for these in our district. Most employers ask for a high school education, so you do not qualify, sorry. Well, but higher education is more than secondary, the multiple master's degree noted. I know, sir, but just think. If you want to buy a middle class car from a car dealer because you can afford only a middle class car. So what if there are higher class cars there for sale? You want a middle class car and you won't even look at a higher class one. Do you understand? The philosophy graduate could hardly refuse logic to that young office worker. It's true, he agreed with resignation. But you know, it's not all. Apparently, the girl wanted to comfort him somehow. Because you see, there is also a good side of your situation. What? Wally opened wide his astonished eyes again. If I register you now as unemployed, you probably won't even have to report to us every month because there is no chance for work here for you now or ever. And an unemployment benefit for you you will be getting anyway from now on. It's not a lot, still money is money. And of course, free insurance. She lowered her voice. Oh, Wally replied after a moment. You are right, but I would honestly prefer a job. Well, if you prefer a job, it's not for me anymore, sir. She lowered her voice again. People do not come here to find a job, but to have a free insurance, and they find jobs themselves. I have a friend who wanted to work for a small company, and its owner asked her immediately if she was already registered as unemployed in an employment office. She said no. He told her to come back to him when she would be registered. He also told her he would not employ her then, but he would give her a job. Isn't it the same? Wally frowned. Not at all. The omniscient blonde looked at him. Sir, when you employ someone, it's like formalizing relationship between a boy and a girl. You know, such things are done as a last resort. The same with work. No self-respecting employer will employ you officially if you can work unofficially. Employers avoid such problems as social security, taxes, holidays, and whatever Parliament came up with. So people who really want to work, they work unofficially. Controls? People are free, so nobody can forbid anybody to come to visit anybody even every day. Especially young people hang around a lot. And you are not so old. Oh, thank you, Wally blushed and asked, regaining his courage. But you don't work here unofficially, do you? Sure. How could my own uncle employ me unofficially? You also should look around your own family first. I did it, and it turned out that my uncle was the ass. Excuse me? Wally's eyes opened. Oh, that's what we say in our office about our boss. Attractive, sexy, self-confident. My uncle is my boss here, and he is famous for saying that in order to be successful and have a good job or make a career, you must be attractive, sexy, and self-confident. He repeats it all the time. That's why people call our office the ass. So family is family anyway. Or find yourself a real ass, just stuffed with money. Do you understand? I just found such an ass. The girl grinned. What? You found an ass? Wally had the impression he was listening to a foreign language because he understood hardly whatever. And what do you think? After all, I'm not going to sit here in paperwork all my life and deal with fakes. Fakes? Wally could not believe his ears. What do you think? I already told you, you are the first person looking for a job since I work here. Everyone registers here only to have an unemployment benefit and to have insurance. Even my beloved ass, whom I met here too, also does the same. He makes big money all the time. Nobody knows how. He buys the most expensive cars, and of course, we go to parties together. Well, if I had a job like you, I might get to know an ass, but for now I'm unemployed. What's the problem to get to know an ass? I see you will sit and read your books until you are completely bald, and you don't know what things are really like. Do you want to get an ass? The simplest thing ever. She lowered her voice again. I will help you because you are so helpless that I feel pity. Please write down my phone number. See you later. And when it comes to work, I tell you, only family. Have you already x-rayed your close and distant family thoroughly? This is how it works. Only family. You will make a good clerk. You do your best to help unemployed people, even if there is no job in your ass. Wally complimented the blonde beauty. It depends on the ass, she responded. And after a while, with visible complacency, she said almost to herself, in mine there is always a lot of employment. It's worth talking to a wise person, or as the saying goes, it's better to lose with an intelligent person as to win with a stupid one, Wally thought. Wally returned home. Although he had no job or even any hope for it, he already knew what to do. So, family first. Mom, I was in the S. Where? Wendy looked at her son with horror in her eyes. Well, in the employment office. They call it so because their idea is to make people attractive, sexy, and self confident. S. Only then you can make a career, Wally corrected. I registered, but they do not have a job for me. Sonny, job job is not a body. It will not run away. You will still have enough time to work hard in your life. After all, mom and dad will always give you money if you need it. So there is no rush, Wally. Now you would better have a rest after all these faculties of yours. Sleep until noon. You will always find something tasty in the fridge. And don't worry about anything. Oh, and God forbid, don't hang out with girls because it wouldn't do any good for you now. We live in a world like this. You can see, for example, what girls are like now. They walk with bare back, and if only with bare back. You can see their panties. What wives and mothers are they supposed to be? These shameless girls. And they only have sex and sex on their minds. Gosh, Mom, we won't change the world. And I know I still have time for girls, so don't worry. Well, and when it comes to sleeping and eating, you are right. I will sleep off and rest for all those years of studies now. You know, when I get up at 8, I feel like sleeping all the day. Then, food, the fact is, I've eaten homemade dinners too often, and you know how I love wings around the corner. No, Mom, can I buy the wings whenever I want? Sure, Sonny. After all, you deserve a reward. You are our pride. Have you seen? They wrote about you in the neighborhood newspaper. It was Daddy who told a friend about you. They used to collect beer cans together. Daddy's friend said it to another friend, and so the information about you appeared in the columns. It's nice, Mom, Wally rejoiced. When we talk about cans, I would like to go to pick up some with Dad one day. You know, Wendy shouted, indignant. You have 6 faculties. What people would think? For example, that this story of your faculties is not true. Even this employment center of yours was a stupid idea to go there. With 6 faculties, you go to an employment office, Wally. Respect yourself, my child. And next, we'll find out soon.